Coming up on the Middle Class VO podcast.
It's taking total ownership of what you're saying and making those words yours with a combination of your brain and your heart and your soul and becoming, the can of chicken soup or becoming whatever specifically you're talking about and having us believe it and having it touch us.
If you need e-learning, we're just an email away. Corporate narration, tell us what to say. Explainer video, imaging radio, slinging local cars, reading IVR. No, we ain't no stars. This is the Middle Class VO podcast. The Middle Class VO podcast. The Middle Class VO podcast.
Welcome to the Middle Class VO podcast. Kevin Kilpatrick here in Nashville, Bobbi Maxwell in Cincinnati, and it's mystery guest time. Woo woo! Bobbi, I'm going to reveal some clues about our mystery guest today, and as I reveal these clues, be thinking about who it could possibly be. Okay?
Okay, so I still shouldn't look at the
Don't
screen.
look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. So, I'm going to start revealing these clues one by one, okay? Mm-hmm. Our mystery guest today, Bobbi, hates vinegar with a passion. Do you know who that is? No.
No.
Okay. This mystery guest today speaks horse talk, which is a made-up language that he and his family have mastered, and they can speak it at any time at will, if they want to. Anything? No?
Nothing.
No? Okay,
Nothing.
Bobbi, this mystery guest only wears Tommy Hilfiger shirts. Still no guess?
Still clueless.
Okay, another clue for you, Bobbi. This mystery guest sleeps in only satin sheets and while sleeping at night scrunches his toes in the satin sheets for comfort. I know. Okay, no? All right, here we go. A couple more really quick. This mystery guest worked on the China Beach and Murphy Brown soundtrack.
Ooh, two of my favorite shows.
And Dallas. Who Shot JR? Well, the musical soundtrack for that series, he worked on that too. No? You don't? Okay.
You're killing me, Smalls.
And finally, our mystery guest speaks Mandarin Chinese with a degree from UCLA. Bobbi?
I have no idea who it is.
It's Cliff Zellman.
Oh my God.
Cliff, thanks so much for being on. And of course, Bobbi knows Cliff Zellman. I know Cliff Zellman. But for those that don't know Cliff Zellman, Cliff is an amazing commercial producer. He is an amazing demo producer with amazing demos. So, Cliff, thanks for joining us for this really cool Middle Class VO podcast today.
Hey, Cliffy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
And Jason is also here. Jason is my editor and producer. Jason, say hello.
Hey, everybody. Nice to meet
Jason.
you, Cliff.
Hey, man. Nice to meet you, too.
So let's dive into this. We're going to talk about some of the best songs in history that feature great acting performances within the singing. What do you think about that, Bobbi?
I love it.
All right. Well, Cliff and I had a conversation a little while ago, and he has given me a list of some great songs. I gave him some songs, and it kind of made him think of some great songs to come up with. And we want to talk about performance and how it relates to voiceover in these songs. We've got so many that we could dive into. But I tell you what, Cliff, we're going to go first with one that you had mentioned earlier that you would like to discuss. And we're talking about, believe it or not, he plays a character in this song, the Charlie Daniels Band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
One of my favorite songs. When we talk about, or when we think about acting in music, I think of not only the words that they're saying, but the singers themselves, whatever they are, either on stage or in real life, as flamboyant or not as they are, when they do this particular song, they become a part much more than just singing. And I think that Charlie Daniels Band, The Devil Came Down to Georgia, it's got the rap feel, it's got the, the groove, but he really narrates this story. Narrates it musically, lyrically, with the tempo. And I think it's a great example of, acting
Jason, could you cue up a spot to where he's doing kind of the singing, the singing, the narrating, and telling this story, and play us a few seconds of it if you would.
I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you played pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, 'cause I think I'm better than you. The boy said, my name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet and you're gonna regret, 'cause I'm the best as ever been.
I mean, you hear it. He's telling a story right
That's
there.
so great. That is so great. I mean, the song's 30, 40 years old. I don't know how old it is.
Yeah,
Still gives me
exactly.
He
chills.
was my first ever person I met in radio, my first meet and greet, and I didn't think he was real. I thought somebody was playing a joke on me.
I met Charlie Daniels in like 97 or 98, somewhere in there, and just the nicest, kindest man. Just so nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
He would fit right into a VO conference when he just kind of walked around.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Just, hi, you all
Oh,
doing?
that's amazing.
Yeah, great performance. Still holds up, and
One of my first
Yeah.
songs that I recognize that, wow, this singer is emoting. He's acting. He's not only telling us the story, but you feel it. Not only is he a great vocalist, but he emotes and he interprets and he brings you right into the story with Bohemian Rhapsody. That is one of my all-time favorites. Jason, if you would, just take us somewhere in the middle. Maybe if you can get us to Scaramouche. I don't know if you can get us to that part, but we'd love to hear a little snippet of that.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Galileo, Galileo Figaro. Magnifico! I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
Oh, that is so good. And you hear it. I mean, what do you got to say about that, Cliff?
I think he becomes the character that he's singing about more than, Freddie Mercury, if that's even possible. He always the eternal showman, and he was the entertainer. He wanted to be an entertainer more than anything else. And it really showed in that We Are the Champions is kind of the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jason, why don't you just roll the first few seconds of that, because that is, that starts out compelling.
I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence.
You hear the pain.
You do. That's what
you can see the man on his knees and saying he's taking responsibility for what he did.
I've had my shells and kicked in my face, but I've come
I got chills, man.
I never appreciated him until I saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wasn't that a
Believe it or
fun
not.
movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's an incredible movie.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know for a fact how exact and historical, but they all liked each other and they all supported each other, and that was great. And I really, really enjoyed the movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That is such
lot
good
more.
stuff. Such good stuff. Bobby, I didn't give you a chance to prepare any music because I knew Cliff and I would be able to dominate this enough. And plus, plus I wanted to, kind of surprise you with Cliff. One of my other favorites is, Jason, if you would get ready, the Mary Clayton in the Gimme Shelter. My goodness. You talk about, and I found a version where it's just her backup singing isolated.
Oh, pulled?
Yeah, in
Wow.
that song. And just the interpretation. And a quick, I don't know if you've seen the documentary 20 Feet from Stardom, but it is fantastic. But the story of this goes, they were in London recording the album, and Mary Clayton was over there, and she got a call at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's like 7 or 8 months pregnant. And she says, who's the Rolling Stones or whatever? And then she goes and says, okay, I'll go record. And so like 1 or 2 in the morning, whenever it was, they were late night working. And she goes at that time and records these vocals, Jason. Oh my gosh. I can't take it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you guys are the same way, but when I hear a performance like that, I could hear that hundreds of times, which I have in my lifetime. It still sends chills up my spine, and sometimes it brings a tear to my eye. Seriously.
Oh, it should.
Yeah.
My
That's
goodness.
pretty amazing.
Those reverb changes. I wonder if those were plate reverbs or if those were actually live reverbs.
That was a large hall there.
It was one or the other back in the day.
Says Cliff Solomon only.
Or it could have been an EMT gold foil plate, which is just that really rich. But yeah, I mean, imagine 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. She probably had a little bit of an attitude just walking in.
Oh, yeah.
That had helped you calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and that was like a
Here's
final
a microphone,
take.
make history. Yeah.
That one right there was like a final take. They were like, can you give us one more and just really belt it out this time? And she may not have, at the time knew belting it out meant her interpretation increasing that much of the despair, the turmoil of the time, but it came through her vocals, and you really hear that.
Yeah, the victim. She is the victim, boy.
Man, oh man. Cliff, what did you want to go to next? Do you want to go to the Kate Bush?
Well, yeah. I was thinking kind of maybe taking it a little more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because what we are going to talk about soon is Don't Give Up, Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. However, that's very deep. But Kevin and I had a conversation earlier today, and we brought up Fire from Arthur Brown, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Now, the opening of that song is incredibly theatric. I don't know if it's Philly jazz or what the roots are of Arthur Brown. Certainly easy to find. But the acting and the character at just the top of that record, imagine a living room filled with 8-year-old boys, and that coming across KHJ 93 Boss Radio. Every kid in the room is just kung fu fighting. We are screaming and yelling and running around. And we visualized it. We became that character. So, we were the actors within that song. And I think that if anybody that doesn't know the song Fire by Arthur Brown, definitely check it out. Yes, it is a novelty record, but I think it must be included on this list. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's roll a few seconds here.
Be prepared.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll take you to burn.
That is, imagine 7 or 8-year-olds just exploding when that came out. And of course, our parents are, did he say hellfire? Satanic? What is this? It was all tongue-in-cheek, and it was all a lot of fun. But just that opening, oh my goodness.
I was curious, Bobby, did you know that song? Did you recall that?
I've heard of that song. I could not have told you who the artist was, but I'm familiar with it.
The Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
And you could ask Jason. I actually turned Jason onto that song, like a year or so ago?
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah, because I don't know why. Jason edits for me, and he hears all the behind the scenes stuff, and I'll walk into the booth getting ready to read something, and all of a sudden, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown's in my head, and so I'd start going fire, do 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 do, and then Jason's like, "What is that, man?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't know The Crazy World of Arthur Brown?"
I know a lot of stuff, but that was not one of.
I don't know how much further he went.
That's all I
maybe
know.
We could. Anybody watching or listening to the podcast, hit pause, go check Google, check it out, and then come right back in.
Yeah,
you'll know a little bit more. But
exactly.
But yeah, how much fun.
How about we go from that to a teen angst song before we get to the sad stuff? How about we listen to Alice Cooper and the character that he is performing? Cliff, dive into this one a little bit.
Alice Cooper was theatrical. Everything was on stage. The records that we thought, it's funny you listen to them now, and they're pretty weak. Thought was so powerful because of what we saw him do, what we heard him do, what we remembered him doing on stage. First concert I ever went to was Alice Cooper at the Hollywood Bowl for the Schools Out tour. And a lot of firsts for me for that concert. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, no.
No, stop.
When Alice Cooper was talking about the pain and the torture, so to speak, of being 18 years old, the confusion, you really heard it. felt it, you saw it, and you said, he is my voice, he is speaking for me. I know it's kind of twisted to say that Alice Cooper is speaking for me, but man, when you're 14, 15 years old, unbelievable. And as far as acting, he's gone on to do some goofy roles here and there, but it's the ownership of that, of the lyrics of what he's saying, and to be able to visualize it and feel it. I think this song's a really good example.
Yeah, what about some of that hook, Jason? See if you can get us to the hook there and play us some of the hook.
Don't always know what I'm talking about. Feels like I'm living in the middle of doubt. 'Cause I'm 18, I get confused every day. 18, I just don't know what to say. 18, I gotta get away.
So great. That is so good.
You automatically want to raise your fist.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good
I
stuff.
got goosebumps. A goofy song, Alice Cooper, but still, oof. Powerful.
And Cliff, you could probably add to this my comment I'm about to make, but I have found over the years, and it's taken me being a voice actor, I think, to recognize performances or recognize within songs why I like it or why it's so popular. And it is the performance of the song, because you hear so many singers and you go, wow, they have a great voice. Well, do they, or is it the performance? I'll give you Willie Nelson as an example, and I'll give you Tom Petty as an example. Now, Tom, he could sing his ass off, of course, so much better than me, but I never thought he had just like the classic, belted out rock song, but he had the interpretation, he had the emotion, and you felt everything he said. Jason, if I'm not troubling you too much, could you pull up just a little snippet of You Got Lucky, just some of the hook, and you could hear he's like really bitter, like this breakup with this partner, and he's like, I'm done. You got lucky when I found you. There it is. You hear it. You hear him like he's pissed. Attitude. Yeah. Cliff, add to that if you would about song performance, and it's not necessarily the vocals that we're hearing, like the good singer. Like we're not saying it's a good singer because of their voice, but it's their performance.
Leonard Cohen, prime example of Hallelujah. Even what we just heard before Tom Petty, Alice Cooper, ain't a great singer. It's the performance. It's the ownership, and it's the same thing with voiceover. It's taking total ownership of what you're saying and making those words yours with a combination of your brain and your heart and your soul, and becoming, a can of chicken soup, or becoming whatever specifically you're talking about, and having us believe it and having it touch us.
Yeah.
And how do we do that? That's $1 million question.
Yeah.
That's the X factor. That's the artist in those that can do that. But we believe it, and it's not simply going through the motions. There's a great VO term, mailing it in. We just think of that, read, it was okay. It sounded like you mailed it in.
Yeah.
None of these performances that we're hearing, and come on, guys, we're picking some of the best songs that were ever, ever produced. But, and there's thousands more. But what makes them special is that when we hear it, we become, the actor, the character that they're portraying. We see it. We can see them when Ian Anderson is hunched over as Aqualung. When Peter Gabriel's dressed up as the flower, or anything in Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, where he becomes the character. How that relates to voiceover, I think it's that seamless kind of delivery, where there's nothing in between the character, the pure emotion, and the microphone. And that ain't easy to do.
Yeah, that's why we keep working at it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, when Lady Gaga, when she performs, she really, really emotes. And I was not surprised that she became a good on-screen actress because she had it. She knows how to act, and she definitely shows it in both her voice and on screen too.
Prime example, Madonna, too. I saw Lady Gaga did a performance on Howard Stern show. And he was kind of hemming and hawing, or kind of, not really taking it too seriously. She got on the piano. She played The Edge, On the Edge. Mm-hmm. Just killed it. And and right afterwards, he was speechless. He was like, oh, whoa, that was good. Wait a minute. That was really, no. That was really, really good. And he was surprised.
Yeah.
And so going from sitting behind the piano to being in front of the camera. Here's something kind of controversial. Do you believe that a really good singer can become an actor easier than an actor can become a really good singer?
I think they can 100%, Cliff. I mean, you know my opinion on that, but I think it's the former as opposed to the latter. A singer can become a good actor before a actor can become a good singer.
Easier.
Yeah, easier. Yeah.
I agree.
I'm just saying, walk into it. Certainly training is training and talent is talent.
Yeah.
And both are incredible. And to put a Al Pacino or we get to edit that out.
Who let him out?
Whose dog is that? Is that yours?
That's my puppy. You want to see her? She's absolutely, she's stunning. Hold on here.
Because my dog is whining at the door too, and at first I thought it was my dog.
There's my Poochie.
Aww.
Hey.
She's a Jack Russell?
Come on, face the camera. Short-haired border collie.
Oh.
Okay.
Super intelligent, I'm sure.
Frightening.
Yeah.
She was a 4-month shelter dog.
Oh, that's great.
It is crazy. She came to us 100% fully factory loaded. She perfect in every way. Housebroken, trained, command, sweet, perfect, trustworthy, amazing.
That's fantastic.
I know. Yeah, at $40.
Oh, that's perfect. And you adopt
the best
it.
$40 I ever spent.
That's great. Well, Bobbi has a session coming up, and so we want to make sure and get her out on time, so she's got a couple of minutes to prepare. But Cliff, I know there was like 1 or 2 more songs that we definitely wanted to highlight, and one was a gal that was inspired Lady Gaga, another New York gal, Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time.
Oh,
Cliff,
be still.
Please, you know the song inside and out. Tell us about the performance.
It is pure emotion. You believe that this person, no matter what, is there. You can feel that, and at the same time, she knows she can't always be there, and she knows that even if she says she's gonna be there, something's still gonna happen. There's a sense of uncertainty through the entire song. She's trying to build support, but I think deep in her heart, it's a lost cause. And what a great actor to be able to go on stage or sit behind a piano, write a song like that, and then go on Letterman or Leno and just be an absolutely off-the-chart character. So there's that melding of this way over-the-top on-screen presence joining with this song that's probably, it's got to be one of the 10 best songs ever written, in my opinion.
Let's hear a clip of it, Jason. She starts off nice and soft and innocent sounding. And you can hear a little fragility, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's very fragile. This is going to catch me? Good luck.
You're going to get a little verklempt?
I'm 212 pounds. Yeah. There's parts in that song that, you guys can drop in. I will be waiting. That.
Yeah.
Great. magical hook.
Second-hand unwind. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting, time after time.
Cliff,
Yes.
Let's do one more, maybe.
One more.
Yeah. Let's
Gosh.
do one more. And
I'm just going to throw a couple names out there, and then we'll do one more. Bruce Springsteen, The River. Unbelievable.
We go down to the river, and into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we ride.
Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
Don't Give Up, Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. Maybe like the last part of the second verse into the second chorus would be something to spotlight on. Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush.
Moved on to another town, tried hard to settle down. For every job, so many men, no one needs.
Don't give up, 'cause you have friends.
go a little bit deeper in the Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel. Because I know Peter Gabriel is he your favorite? He's one of your favorites, I know. But is he your favorite?
Certainly one of my greatest influences. And not that, I've benefited from that at all, because there's nowhere I could even come close to that. But just writing, acting, singing, lyrics, arrangement, 70s British prog, consistently the best, in my opinion. But Don't Give Up with Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel starts off as a guy who comes from a small town and gets shunned, does something, leaves, has to completely reinvent himself. And then there's this voice behind him, which is either his wife, his lover, his childhood friend, or maybe even himself, telling him constantly, don't give up, don't give up, you have us. And it's acting unbelievable. Kate Bush is, wow. Give it a listen.
Really quick, Jason, Jason, unmute, because Jason, Bobbi, and I was telling Cliff a little while ago, but Jason's a rock singer. Jason and Cliff, you guys could talk for hours about guitars and recording music and all this stuff. But Jason is my editor, and he produces for me as well. And so he's, for the last 3 years, I think. But Jason is deeply entrenched in the voiceover world now, but nobody knows it but me, really. But Jason, from your perspective, he was saying, some other songs that would be good for this. Jason, run off a few of your favorite songs where the vocal performances really inspired you.
I think for me, a band called the Arctic Monkeys, they've been around for a while, and his style of singing, like a lot of British singers, you don't know they're British until they talk, because when they sing, you can't tell. It's
right.
But with him, he unabashedly wears that British accent, and his lyrics are just, his delivery is everything you guys were talking about. He is a character, and I've seen him live 3 times.
Emo, yeah.
And I mean, he just puts on a great show, and just super kind of suave and confident, and plays these different characters.
Been fighting with my sheets, and nearly crying in my sleep. Yes, I'm battling that well-told gripe, the most frustrating type. You should have racing stripes, the way you keep me in pursuit.
What about a Zeppelin song for you? I mean, Stairway to Heaven, obviously, the acting in that is just amazing. It's one of the best of all time. But
When the Levee Breaks.
Oh, yeah.
When the levee breaks, mama, you got to
just got a super, you can just kind of dingy like vibe, and that one's a great one too. And just he does a bunch of ad lib stuff in it, and obviously they did a lot of like covers, but a lot of people get upset at Zeppelin for that. But I don't have a problem if they do a cover and they make it way better than the original. Then that's a win. So
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your input, Jason. And Cliff, thanks so much for coming on. I think we're going to have to do this one again because we could cover so many more songs.
So many other songs. And and now that I know what you're talking about,
you can bring your own to the table.
This is a great topic that can kind of grow, and when you brought it to me, Kevin, I even have things that I'm thinking of now just during this podcast here that we'd like to add. And so maybe we can talk about how they meld, and I don't know.
Maybe we'll do a part 2.
Yeah. Because there's a lot can come out of this, and I think that we covered a lot, but
the important thing to remember is the performance. Pay more attention. Voice actors, we need to pay attention to the music we're listening to because the music is being heard for a reason, and that means it's really good. And that means because the performance is really good, it made a connection. And that's what voiceover is all about, connecting with the copy and making the listener believe what you're saying.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Cliff, thanks so much,
Kevin.
Man.
That was it. I was trying to find those words, man. That was a seamless sentence.
I've crystallized your thoughts exactly.
You did indeed.
You just wanted to pick up a guitar and start riffing, didn't you, Cliff?
Well, I could. Let me tell you about voiceover.
Well, Bobby, go do your session. Cliff, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your time, buddy. I really
Bobby,
appreciate
great
it.
to see you and hang out with you guys anytime.
Well, good.
Enjoy the day.
Yeah, we'll plan a part 2 of this down the road so we can continue this conversation.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Jason. Be well, guys.
The Middle Class VO Podcast is a K2 Media Productions production.
All views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests. The McVob jingle was written and produced by Kevin.
Co-produced and performed by Chloe Dolandis.
Additional engineering by Zach Zimmett.
Bobby's hair and makeup by Rebecca Adlita.
Kevin's wardrobe by Slippery Pete's Fashion Emporium.
All previous episodes are available for download on Podbean.
For the Middle Class VO Podcast, I'm Tracy Thibodeau.
I'm Lisa Lou Perry.
Thanks for listening.
And don't miss the next episode of
The Middle Class VO Podcast. The Middle Class VO Podcast.